Well, happy Halloween, my goblins and ghouls out there. And in honor of this special holiday that we don't get off of school from, I will be giving you my top 31 favorite horror/Halloween movies to watch during this special time of year. So let's get started. So at number 31, we have Halloween 4. This movie, to me, is just so atmospheric with the holiday of Halloween. And it's starting to, get us into the supernatural element of Halloween, which is getting us into the Sam Haines story arc, And Sam Hain is the holiday of Halloween. So this movie, man, is just the perfect way to start the Halloween season right. So at number 30, we have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, I know for some people maybe it's a summer film, but I don't know. The horror that goes down in this movie with Leatherface wearing people's skin on his face, running around killing people with chainsaws, that's like Halloweenish to me, There's really good characters in this movie, and it's the birth of a awesome horror icon. So at number 29, we have Scream 4. Now, you'll notice probably all the Screams are on this list because it's a thriller, basically. It's mystery, and nothing is more scary than mystery, Especially mixed in with the jump scares, the gore, and the characters. It makes for a great, fun, spooky time. So now at 28, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This movie's atmosphere is so well done. It's literally everything that happens in the movie is in the title. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. They're from outer space and they kill. And the entire, I just can't get over the atmosphere of this movie, man. It is perfect. Just how they kill you, after you die, they wrap you in cotton candy and just hide your bodies everywhere. It's very, very well done. This movie is a cult classic for the Halloween season, and I don't even know why they don't play it on TV. It's so good. So at number 27 on our list, we have Trick or Treat. If you don't consider this to be one of the best, most atmospheric Halloween movies of all time, then you're crazy. You're crazy, because just the anthology part of it is so well done. Going to story with each story getting wrapped up perfectly and it all mixing together because of the character of Sam. And the rules of the movie are just so disturbing. Always keep the jack-o'-lanterns lit, always hand out candy, or else Sam will come for you, And this movie just does all of that so very well. Now at number 26, we have A Nightmare on Elm Street. This movie is a classic and is the birth of another horror icon. It's just very, very well done with its jump scares, and honestly, for softies and for people who don't really like watching horror movies, if they watch it, they will not want to sleep for the rest of their life, because Freddy always comes for you while you are sleeping in your dreams, and he's unstoppable in your dreams because he controls it. So there's so much fear built into this character, built into this franchise, built into this movie. It is very, very well done. Now at 25, we didn't choose a horror movie for this one. I did not choose a horror movie for this one. It is A Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, this could be considered a Christmas movie. This could be considered a Halloween movie. And I've even looked it up on Google several times, and according to Tim Burton, it's apparently a Halloween movie. But either way, it's perfect for both holidays. But in terms of Halloween, it is very, very good. The main character, Jack Skellington, is awesome. Just the effects in this movie are done very, very well, and it is one of my favorite movies of all time as well. So next on our list, for number 24, we have Saw. Saw is a great thriller/mystery/ you don't know what the hell is going on till the end of the movie where they explain everything. The characters, the suspense is very well done, and the introduction to this awesome franchise is very, very good, honestly. It's one of the most perfect movies you could watch during the Halloween season. But number 23, we have Friday the 13th Part 6. Now, I know the Friday the 13th movies feel like a summer horror franchise, but this movie specifically, Part 6, does not. It just feels like a full-blown horror movie in October. It's definitely my favorite of the franchise. I have watched it several times. It is very, very good, honestly. The characters, very well done. The battle at the end, very, very suspenseful and great. Now at number 22 on the list, Child's Play 2. This is by far the best film in the Child's Play franchise, even though for me the Child's Play reboot comes very close. The only reason it's not on this list at all is due to the fact that it's a robot Chucky. It's not like the voodoo Chucky that we know and love. But this movie just does everything right. It's the best version of Chucky. They make him look very, very good in this movie as well. And the puppeteering in this film specifically with Chucky is done very, very good. So at number 20 21, we have Rob Zombie's Halloween. Now, I know this is a very divisive movie amongst Halloween fans, you know, and I'm not fighting. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 was bad, but this first one was actually pretty damn good. You know, of course there's flaws in it, but like the backstory for Michael Myers I thought wasn't too interesting, especially they have like half of the movie on it, but it's a fresh take on the Michael Myers character, giving him an actual motive, because in the 1978 original, he doesn't have a motive. Now, I do prefer no motive for this character, but this motive was realistic. This is actually sometimes how serial killers are made. They come from a broken home. They get bullied, you know? And this movie just brings out those themes very, very well. Now at number 20, Scream 5. Scream 5 is probably my favorite of the franchise because each and every legacy character really gets to shine in their own way despite the story not focusing on them this time around. You know, we have the emotional death of Dewey Riley, the best character of the franchise, and it's very emotional, you know? Letting go of these characters are very sad, and this is the last time we see Sidney Prescott, not because she dies, but because the actress didn't want to come back for Scream 6. Thankfully, she's coming back for Scream 7, but this movie is just perfect. It's like waving goodbye the Woodsboro era of the franchise and taking along a few legacy characters with it, such as Dewey. And Dewey's death in this movie, I felt, was handled somewhat good, but also somewhat bad, because honestly, Dewey would never be stupid enough to get directly in front of the killer or go back. He would, like the real Dewey we know in the franchise, would not have went back to try to kill Ghostface. He would have just stayed in the elevator and got to safety, and then probably in the final act, then kill Ghostface. They did that entire execution great, but it was honestly stupid why they killed Dewey off. But at number 19, we have Halloween Ends. Now, this is another divisive Halloween movie. It's probably one of the most divisive besides Rob Zombie's Halloween. But this is a good Halloween movie as the holiday Halloween, not the franchise Halloween, because some of the things that go down in this movie was supposed to wrap up this story between Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. They do that, but they introduce a brand new character that really only exists to bring Michael Myers and Laurie Strode together again, to fight. So his character amounts to really nothing in the story besides bringing these two characters to fight one another. Although it has a very satisfying ending in my opinion, like the entire Laurie vs. Michael battle was very, very well done, and the death of Michael was very shocking. Like I remember sitting in the theater being like, wow, they threw him in a freaking grinder. Gonna make a freaking hamburger out of Michael Myers. But yeah, this is one of my least favorite of the franchise, but I still found some enjoyment out of it. Now moving on to number 18, Halloween H2O. Now a lot of the Halloween movies actually make it on here because it's very like the name of the holiday is in the movie title, you know, Halloween. This movie was actually supposed to be the end. This was supposed to be the final time we see Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode. That's why she gets killed off in Resurrection. And this movie just does so many things right, but also so many things wrong. Like the CGI mask, why? Switching like mask to mask, very dumb. Like keep with one mask. And the one mask they went with this movie honestly was alright. They really made the eyes really pop out when truly something very infamous about Michael Myers is his eyes. Like the eyes of darkness. That's how Michael Myers exported his evil into Corey through his dark eyes, you know? And there is no darkness behind his eyes because his eyes are freaking popping out of the mask. Now moving on to Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, of course, there's some flaws with this movie too. Like, Michael Myers really feels like a henchman in this movie, you know? Not really like the main villain, but just the movements of Michael is very well done by the actor behind it. The characters are very fun to see on screen, especially Paul Rudd as Tommy Doyle. That was fun to see. And this was actually the last time we ever saw Dr. Loomis, you know, because Donald Pleasance unfortunately passed away months after this movie wrapped up, so we never really got to see Donald Pleasance, Dr. Loomis, ever again in the franchise. And that to me is kind of sad, but they didn't really satisfy me with the ending of his character, which kind of sucks because this would be the last time we saw Loomis until the reboot, but it was overall a pretty dang solid movie. Next on the list is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4. This movie to me is my favorite of the franchise, and they do all the characters so well, and of course all of their emotional deaths, because we lose a lot of characters from the previous movie, but also they introduced some new characters that I did feel sad when they did die, you know? But this movie was just very fun and enjoyable from start to finish, and I really ended up enjoying enjoying my time with this movie. So now at number 15, we have Scream 2. This movie is definitely probably my second favorite of the franchise, just because of how well they do the story. The killer, Mickey, is very, like, dangerous, and honestly, I can't really put into words how much I love this movie. Each and every character is just very, very well done. All the actors and actresses did amazing. Dewey getting stabbed again was well done, you know, that scene. And even before that scene when he's walking into the studio room and, like, you could hear, like, a little cowboy type theme playing as he enters the room, making him kind of the Clint Eastwood of the Scream franchise. Honestly, this Scream movie was super, super good. So now moving on to number 14, the FNAF movie, aka Five Nights at Freddy's. This movie came out last year and I watched it on Peacock at home, and man, I enjoyed my time with it. Of course, like, hardcore FNAF fans might have not enjoyed it, and I could kind of see why, but Matthew Lillard in this movie is very, very awesome to see on screen. He just does a perfect job playing William Afton, and even the suits are awesome looking. Awesome. The finale was very fun. The kills in this movie were also very fun, even though I do think that the PG-13 rating definitely held the movie back. It got me excited for what is to come with the sequel. So next on my list is Saw 2. This movie was probably, in my opinion, better than the first one. I found a lot of enjoyment with all the traps that went down in this movie, and it's honestly kind of funny because Jigsaw says that, like, oh, it's fair, you could escape, but then even when they escape, they still die. It's honestly very unfair, and the fun part about this franchise is always wondering, can I survive that trap or will I die? And I even find myself doing that sometimes when I watch the movies, and spoiler alert, I cannot survive any of those. I can't even tolerate the slightest of pain. Like, if I had to break a finger in order to protect my eyes from being vacuumed out, I swear, just taking my eyes out, please, I don't want to lose a finger. But yeah, this movie was just done very, very well. Now, number 12 on my list is Totally Killer. Now, maybe you guys don't agree with that. I would see why you wouldn't agree with that if you don't, but I also see why you would agree with me. You know, it's just very well done. The fight scenes are very fun to see, especially that beginning fight scene, and just the entire premise of, like, a Back to the Future horror movie, basically, is just so awesome. Number 11 on my list is Saw 3. This movie is just miles better than part 2. You know, like, I feel like up to maybe, like, Saw 4 and 5, they keep upping the ante and making it better and better with each Saw movie. And this Saw movie, Saw 3, really shows, and it's very, very enjoyable from start to finish. You know, as the Saw movies kept going on until Saw X, I feel like, yes, the quality did go down a little bit, but I still enjoyed it, such as Saw 4. I still enjoyed that movie quite a lot. Billy the Puppet was fun, the traps were amazing, seeing John Kramer, like, Tobin Bell does an amazing job in the role, I swear. He's a great actor in this. Tobin Bell does amazing. Now, number 9 on my list is Saw 5. Like I said, everything that I liked about the previous movies, I like about this one. You know, John Kramer, amazing. Like, the flashbacks with his character is awesome. The kills are amazing. The traps are very, very interesting and suspenseful, like if they're gonna get out alive or not. It's very, very well done stuff. Now, at number 8, we have Halloween 5. I definitely enjoyed this movie, like I said in my review for it, but there's obviously some flaws with characters like Tina. She was a very bad character and ultimately amounted to nothing except for, like, a little hero sacrifice at the end of the movie, which really did not change my mind about her character whatsoever. They kill off Rachel, our final girl from the previous Halloween movie, which you should never be killing off final girls unless you're ending the franchise. So this was a weak sequel, but it was still enjoyable for me, you know? Now at number 7, we have Saw 6. Now, of course, everything that I like about the previous Saw movies, like I said with Saw 5, I like about this one. The kills, the traps, Billy the Puppet. It's honestly all amazing. The characters are very well done as well. Now, number 6 on my list, Halloween 2, 1981. This movie was a perfect continuation of Halloween 1978, literally taking place the same exact night. All the characters were awesome in this movie. The kills were great in this movie. The setting of Haddonfield Memorial Hospital was very cool, even though Jimmy the Creep was all over the place in this movie. And Michael Myers in this this movie was portrayed very well by Dick Warlock. The mask, I found enjoyment in the mask, definitely, like, especially in later sequels. You gotta be grateful for the Halloween 2 mask, because honestly, the Halloween Michael Myers masks get worse as the sequels go on, kind of, but ultimately get better towards the end of the franchise, like with Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. So now at number 5, we have Scream, a awesome horror thriller that honestly made the genre what it is today. It's a classic, the characters are amazing, the story is done perfectly, the characters are the best of the franchise and probably of several other franchises, and the introduction of Ghostface, the suspenseful opening, it's all done perfectly. Now at number 4, I have to mention Terrifier 2. I really enjoy the Terrifier movies a lot. Of course, I thought Terrifier 1 was okay, but Terrifier 2 is just a major step up. Story-wise, character-wise, kill-wise. Art the Clown is amazing in this movie. The things he does to the human body are honestly unthinkable and sometimes unprocessable. And people are literally puking in theaters because of that guy. Even with the third one, they're still puking in the theater because of it. But just a fun horror movie, you know? Now at number 2, we have Saw X. Saw X is my favorite of the Saw franchise entirely. You know, the kills that go down in this movie, the cinematography is beautiful. The character of John Kramer, you actually feel bad for him because he gets baited into spending like thousands of dollars into this fake surgery that could get rid of his cancer, you know? And it is all very sad stuff. But he gets his revenge. Billy the Puppet looks amazing in this movie too. It's just perfect from start to finish. Now, at my number 1 spot, Halloween 1978. This is ultimately what made the horror genre entirely. Like, Scream helped make the horror genre what it is today, but Halloween 1978 created the horror genre. That's how good it was. It created the horror genre and brought so many fans into it that longtime fans of horror movies nowadays will always tell you what got them into horror was 1978's Halloween. And ultimately, that's the movie that got me into horror as well. I freaking enjoyed the hell out of this movie. It is definitely, without a doubt, the best of the franchise. And just like that, my goblins and ghouls, that is my top 31 favorite Halloween movies to watch during the month of October. So without further ado, enjoy the rest of your Halloween, go trick-or-treating, watch a special nice scary horror movie. Take care.